and girls. This week we're going to continue with our Bible hero. This week we're going to talk about Abram and his covenant with God. This story is found in Genesis 15, 1 through 6. God promised Abram that he would be a father of a great nation, that his descendants would be God's chosen people. The only problem was that Abram was an old man and he didn't have any children. Despite the seemingly impossible promise, Abraham had faith in God. With unseen faith in God, we can be heroes like Abraham. So the bottom line, like Abraham, good heroes have faith in God. Stay tuned for our skit and a message from Brother Cam. Hope to see you soon.
Big Hero Employment Agency. Need a plumber? We've got one. Need a maid? Got one of those too. Need a secretary? Got about 3. And for the right price, you can have me too. At the Big Hero Employment Agency, we have a hero to get you out of any jam you get yourself into. So just sit back and tell me how the Big Hero Employment Agency can help you. Hello? Another hang up? This phone must be broken.
Gladys, who's my next client?
That's me, name's Chuck. Nice to meet you, sir.
Hi, Chuck. You seem a little nervous.
Nervous and in a hurry.
Well, how can we help you?
Well, you see, I'm a construction foreman.
And you want us to find you work?
No, I've got work. I've been put in charge of building that new high-rise across town.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Well, how can we help you?
Well, you know, foreman needs a crew to build a big high-rise.
I suppose they do.
Well, you know, a crew needs somebody to mix the cement, put up the drywall, and operate the heavy machinery.
Well, I'm not sure if we have any construction workers around here, but we'll have to have a look around.
Okay, but please hurry, sir. It's got to be done by the end of February.
Gladys, give me a list of all of our employees.
I'm confused, Chuck.
About what?
I was just on the other side of town the other day, and it looks like that high-rise is already being built.
Oh, it is?
And it looks like you already had a crew.
Did they quit? You need them replaced?
No, I've got a full crew. I've got Alex to operate the drywall, and George to do heavy machinery, Brandon to mix the cement.
But are they slow? You need them replaced?
No, they're hard workers.
So why are you here?
Well, you know, I need a backup plan. What if something goes wrong? What if it doesn't get done? I need a backup crew lined up just in case something goes wrong.
You know what you need?
A backup crew.
No. You need faith. You need to trust that the work that needs to be done is going to be.
I do?
Yeah. Are your people hard workers?
Yeah.
Are they honest?
Yeah, absolutely.
Then believe them when they tell you that the high-rise will be done in time. Trust their hard work.
But what if I get nervous?
Turn to God. Put your faith in Him and He'll never let you down.
Well, thank you, lady. You just saved me a ton of money and a ton of worry. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Nice man.
And there goes another client.
Another one will come, Mr. Jones. Just have faith.
Welcome back, everybody, to this week's lesson on Bible heroes. A couple of weeks ago, we had a Bible story and we talked about the characteristic or the virtue of obedience. And you have to be obedient to do great things for God, because you have to be willing to do what He says to do. This week, we're going to talk about the virtue of faithfulness. And faithfulness is just trusting God and believing that He's going to do what He says He's going to do, even whenever things don't look too good. The story this week is going to be about a guy named Abram, and things weren't looking too good for him because God had told Abram and Sarai, his wife, to move away from their home and move to a strange land. And then He told them that He would become the father of a great nation. The only problem was that Abram didn't have any kids. And he was like 75 years old whenever God told him that he was going to have a child. And so just not a whole lot of people have kids when they're 75 years old. So, you know, that's really difficult for Abram to, you know, be the father of a nation if he doesn't have any kids. But we're going to read the Bible story and then we'll tell you, you know, why and how things turned out for Abram. In Genesis chapter 15, starting in verse 1 and going to verse 6, this is what it says. Sometime later, the Lord spoke to Abram in a vision and said to him, "Do not be afraid, Abram, for I will protect you, and your reward will be great." But Abram replied, "O sovereign Lord, what good are all your blessings when I don't even have a son? Since you've given me no children, Eliezer of Damascus, a servant in my household, will inherit all my wealth. You have given me no descendants of my own, so one of my servants will be my heir." Then the Lord said to him, "No, your servant will not be your heir, for you will have a son of your own who will be your heir." Then the Lord took Abram outside and said to him, "Look up into the sky and count the stars, if you can. That's how many descendants you will have." And Abram believed the Lord, and the Lord counted him as righteous because of his faith. So God promised Abram kind of like the impossible, that him and Sarai, his wife, would have children, and that his descendants, there would be more of them than the stars in the sky. You know, so have you ever been outside at nighttime, like not in the city, but like way out in the country where there's no street lights? You can see a lot of stars. I mean, there's just, thousands, tens of thousands, millions of stars up there. And so God tells him, his descendants are going to be that many. And Abram believed what God told him. Now, God told him this when he was like 75 years old. And the promise didn't come true until Abram was like 100 years old. So he had to wait 25 years. But he had faith that God would do what he said he was going to do. And it says that the Bible says that his belief was credited to him or counted as righteousness. And so even though Abram wasn't perfect, none of us are, but God chose to look past his imperfections because he had this strong faith. So, later in the Bible, Abram got his name changed to Abraham. He became the father of Isaac. Isaac had a son named Jacob, and Jacob had 12 sons. And those sons and their families became the nation of Israel. So God had fulfilled his promise to Abram. So look, God has great plans for us, just like he had with all the great heroes in the Bible. We talked about Noah building the ark, and this week we're talking about Abram and his faith, and having to wait 25 years just trusting that God was going to do what he said he was going to do. But God has great plans for you, and he has things that he wants you to accomplish, but you have to believe that. And not just believe it when times are good, but when times are bad and it seems like there's just no possible way that it can come true. You just have to keep on holding on because you believe that God is going to do what he says he's going to do. Sometimes it's hard to see how we can do big things, and not just for adults, but especially for kids. But sometimes God uses kids to do big things too. Because there are people that are smarter than us. There are people that are, stronger than us. Sometimes we think that we're just too young. But he wants more than anything for us to simply put our faith in him. To trust God, because God is stronger than even the strongest person. He's smarter than the smartest person. And he's more loving and kind and generous than we can even fathom. If we believe in him and put our faith in him, he will see us through every problem and do amazing things through him, just like our hero Abraham. And I just want to leave you with one more thought. The main reason God uses people that aren't the smartest and aren't the strongest and aren't necessarily the richest is because when he does those great things through us, then he gets all the credit. Because there's no way that we should be able to do it being the weakest or not necessarily the smartest or whatever. But we just have to have faith. We don't have to have all these special abilities. All we need is faith. Well, that's all I have for this week. And once again, we'll see y'all next week. And if you have any questions between now and the next time, just call me or Miss Nita and we'll do our best to answer your questions. Talk to y'all later.